Greetings and salutations, Ohio gozaimasu. It is Nina and I am back. Today's topic is one that I have been wanting to talk about for a while now. There's a very popular brand, I'm gonna put the initials right here, that showcases, that features these very particular types of bodies. And you also see these bodies on Instagram. People are buying these Jessica Rabbit bodies, these basically Kardashian bodies. They ushered in a whole new era of plastic surgery, just a whole new level, and people are like embracing these body changes. You look at these women and you have people aspiring to be them when they're not even them. One of the parts that makes me really sad about it is I feel like men are getting to the point where they can't tell a GMO body from an organic one. I was scrolling through the aforementioned fashion website with a guy. I was commenting on, how like people really looked plastic surgerized. And he's like, well, that looks real. She's real. She's real. I'm like, dude, you don't see that? You don't clearly see the silicone enhancements? You don't, I don't know. Like that really blew my mind. I'm like, you have to, your vision has to be better than that, man. And it just made me worry that this is becoming too normal. Women that don't even have tattoos are all of a sudden coming out with these Frankenstein booties and getting themselves cut into. It just says a lot about what we're willing to do as a culture to feel accepted, to feel like we look good. The place where you will really see it is in Atlanta. Every time I go to Atlanta, it's just like these big basketball ham hock booties. I'm not interested in women, but whether you're gay or straight, I feel like you're gonna see two big Spaldings on somebody's back. Like you can't miss it. But the thing that concerns me the most is just the message that we're sending to these young women, this up and coming generation. They're getting this message that this is what they need to aspire to. This is what they need to feel beautiful and valuable. And it's dangerous. Surgery is dangerous. You have people going to these black market underground type of places and getting these procedures done and hurting themselves, even dying from this. And even if you go to, a board certified surgeon, there's still the risk of injury, even death. So it's not something to take lightly. It's not as simple as just going to get a tattoo. I just think there's a dark side to this love of thickness that has always been perpetuated in Black culture, because now it's becoming something different. It's like becoming less about loving your natural body weight, body fat, and more about sculpting it into the perfect shape, and then you love it. You remember the video hoe era? I hate that term, but that's, what it was. The video hoe era has given way to the Instagram model era. And I feel like this new era is even more toxic than before because there's an element of reality and then there's the accessibility. The video vixen was the fantasy. It wasn't exactly attainable just for the everyday girl. And now the everyday girl is like, oh, I can do all these tweaks and I can toot my booty on Instagram and get these likes and comments. Men need to be a little more responsible for this than I think they are. I'm not trying to blame it all on men. I think it's like a collaborative effort. Men are steadily or constantly praising these shapes and they're kind of creating these expectations. And so I think men need to be careful about the expectations that they're placing on women, careful about the images that we exalt, just get better at like seeing what's real and what's not, and just appreciating what's real a little bit more, because what's real is not always perfectly sculpted and shaped. We need to think about what these things are going to do to our body in the future. What happens when that big fake booty is saggy and leaky 25 years from now? What happens when you have a daughter and you want to teach her self-love and self-acceptance, but you got your butt done, so now she's 14 and she wants to get all this stuff done? Like, we just have to just think bigger and think about, how this is affecting us as a culture. So that is all I have for today's video. Please let me know your thoughts on this. I'm just concerned for our collective future if this mindset continues.